Hello to everyone. Take a look at the weather here. Can you even believe this? It's pretty here. It's pretty expensive. So anyway, I'm doing my 2 hours walking. I'm on hour number 2. I just went to McDonald's. So, okay, the comments have been really awesome, and I want to mention a few. One comment was her daughter got food stamps, and she spent $50, and then she got notification that there was a close down for 10 days, and then her food stamps were taken away. So this some of this stuff is starting to make sense. You saw the videos how when the people got their food stamps, they rushed into the store and spent it all. Well, that's probably because they might have had some inkling this might happen. So what I'm thinking is when you hear about it happening to one person, it's a good chance it could happen. So in my opinion, I wouldn't leave that money sitting there on the food cards. If I had some, I would, plan out as best I could and spend it before something happens to it. I've heard of, a long time ago, I was a nursing student, and there was healthy family insurance, and one day it was just cut off. And there was also aid to the fires. We had the big fires. It was the Acorn group, and all of a sudden one day that was gone. I mean, don't be paranoid, be wise, but out here, there's also certain kinds of disability, and you can't get food stamps, and you could actually be so poor you really should have them. One time Ricky and I got this food together for the lady that ran out of bread, fruit, and vegetables, and she's on that kind of disability. I highly doubt she makes so much money she can't qualify for food stamps. So anyway, what I've been doing is searching around for churches where you can get the free food. And so last week, one of my friends and I, we went, and she actually got the food. And what they do is they give you one grocery bag full of food at this particular church. And I forget what was in it, but it was awfully skimpy for 2 whole weeks. So what has to be done is you have to find these places that dispense the food, and you have to go to more than one. In fact, I would go to, if I was even looking in the direction of not enough food, I would go to as many as I could come up with. You have to show verification of your address, and you have to take like a bill, some kind of a, thing that proves your address, and an ID. So you need to know that. I used to have a big list of the places here in town, but then, you get confident. Oh, look. Oh, I thought this was dog food. I don't know what that is. Anyway, another thing you want to stockpile is dog food. I was just warning my son to load up on dog food. We don't want the dog starving. So anyway, what I think is cease all spending except for food. You've got to have toilet paper, stuff like that. And, just know that any day, if you're dependent on food stamps, anything can happen. I think your best bet is the stockpile, is the prepping. So you heard my son's girlfriend's uncle won the $1 million on the Ellen show yesterday. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I raised one son by myself, and things are so expensive, and they had those 4 little boys. I mean, that was really heartwarming. If you guys didn't get a chance, you can go online and watch the Ellen show. That was Misha's uncle. And then one of the followers suggested if you run out of eggs, borrow some, You might be thinking anybody would think of that. Not me. I didn't think of that. I never thought of that. And I was, in spite of the fact that my neighbor actually asked me if he could borrow 2 eggs, and I said, oh, sure. And you don't have to pay me back. But I was thinking, wow, why are you like this? Well, it was my job. You know, I worked low-end shops 2 and 3 at a time. And I'd be standing next to somebody and they were always out of everything. They were always, you know, no money. And we'd be standing working right next to each other. And I doubt they were like foolishly spending their money. I mean, we just didn't make much money. But I was very conservative with all my money. I mean, I was ridiculous. I wouldn't spend any money, especially if it looked like business wasn't good. I would completely and totally quit spending. And at times they would try to pressure me to spend, and I mean, I wouldn't. Not even a damn dime. And that went on for years and years and years. And so the best strategy for this food thing is think about it as life and death. You know, what am I going to do? I got to feed my children, you know, and come up with some very cheap meals. They recommend fish twice a week. Well, fish sticks and tuna fish casserole are 2 really cheap meals. And come up with 7 cheap meals: spaghetti, hot dogs and chili, big pots of soup, big pots of macaroni and cheese, you know. And the real thing of this video, why I'm doing this video, is something, probably your most important box in your kitchen is gather up all the fragments of food and create a box that has all your half packages, half-eaten food. Don't throw away anything. Put it all in the box and then try to make yourself eat it. But there's another reason. If somebody comes to your door and they don't have any food, or if it's a family member, go to the box and make them a box of food. Believe it or not, last month I prepared 2 portions of food and I gave some money. And I mean, this was just last month, you know, and be prepared to provide if somebody needs something, you know. I mean, don't shoot yourself in the foot, you know, financially, but be prepared. You know, if you didn't feel you could give your neighbor your eggs, those egg replacers are better than nothing. I bought those at Walmart. They're by the canned milk. I don't know if all the Walmarts have them, but one of the things that's really nice is tuna fish. I will be stockpiling tuna fish and canned meat. And so now, because of my experiences doing this for a while, I know the things people are apt to run out of, including myself, if I didn't watch my you-know-what, would be bread, fruit, vegetables. Another thing that's really nice, if you have friends that were low on food, would be peanut butter for $1. You know, if you have bread and crackers, you know, I have a lot of crackers because I eat my sandwiches at noon. I like meat sandwiches with cheese for lunch. And another reason for doing this and eating this way is when you're used to having a sandwich or a sandwich and a half or 2 sandwiches and then some kind of pretty substantial dinner, you're never hungry. And I was thinking, for my midnight snacks, I might as well have Cheerios since they're suggesting whole grain, more whole grains. And I didn't even think about Cheerios until the family won $1 million. That is unbelievable. It's just like, you're like a blithering idiot. Like, what? But that's actually a good snack. Good for the kids too, and get the big cans of milk, or that shelf stable milk at Dollar Tree. I will be picking up about 7 or 8 of those this month. And just say, okay, if I am out of food, I will find those churches that dispense the food, and I will keep it all. I will freeze what I don't eat. And if my friend comes to the door, I won't have to turn them away. I will be able to give them something. So, okay. I have about 30-45 minutes, and I'm going to Walmart again. I just stopped in the last time to get the Cheerios because I was too excited, and I couldn't wait to buy Cheerios because I was so damned grateful that they gave Misha's uncle and the wife and the 4 kids $1 million. That is unbelievable. Last night, it's like your brain is just like, what? So, okay, you guys, I will see you later with 2 cheap meals.